What's the most absurd reason you've heard of someone canceling their marriage? My Italian uncle canceled his wedding because the bride's family would not serve lasagna at the wedding reception. He ended up marrying an Irish woman whose family was okay with serving lasagna at the reception. It sounds absurd, but who knows what else was going on? In a way, it's not about the lasagna, but about communication, compromise, and treating the groom as an equal partner. It's indicative of what the entire relationship might be like. I was going to be a guest at a wedding and found out it was canceled 2 weeks before. The bride found out that the groom had gotten a significant discount on the price of the venue, and she was insanely angry that anything at her wedding cost less than premium. Keep in mind, this was her dream venue that she had chosen. She was just mad that her fiancé was cheap or something. I was never super close to either of them, but the last I heard they never ended up getting married. He dodged a bullet. Bride canceled the wedding a week before because she was a hardcore Disney adult and she was offered a temporary job at Disney. According to her, she couldn't miss the opportunity of her dreams. People who have cheated on a spouse, why did you do it? Insecurity. I was always looking for someone who would make me feel more desirable, as if it was a game of getting the most value. Once I matured emotionally, I realized how terrible I was to live with and the hurt I caused people. My ex said they were no longer interested in me sexually. I obviously should have left at that point, but with kids and the financial hit of divorce, I cheated just looking to fulfill that need. I later finally divorced, and it was costly, but a relief. My partner cheated on me shortly after I had his baby. I wanted to leave, but I convinced myself to stay. The logistics of having a baby and 24-hour care are challenging on your own. He refused to have sex with me. At some point, someone got me in a weak spot. Somewhere between exhaustion, low self-esteem, and the sheer opportunity of having an orgasm were too strong for me. I'm deeply ashamed. Shortly after I managed to end the relationship, I should have left sooner. Someone telling you that you are beautiful, talented, and special after being invisible can feel like a drug. I don't expect sympathy from anyone for my actions, but I do have a lot of sympathy for others now. What's the one thing you'll never tell your girlfriend? That I know she cheated on me, and the only reason I haven't left her is because the mortgage interest rates are a bit high, so I can't comfortably buy her half of the equity we have in the house. I got a valuation, a mortgage pre-approval, and a lawyer all ready to go, but would only have about $21 per week left over. I'd be screwed the first time a major appliance or the car breaks down. When me and my wife first started dating, I had a dumb canvas painting with a llama and rabbit on it that I found at a thrift store. I showed it to her and told her how much I loved it just because it was just such a dumb random thing to find. For some reason, she took that as I love llamas and that they are my favorite animal. So now, every time she sees one or something with a llama on it, I see her brighten up to show me, and I get excited with her. I have never cared about llamas. I don't know how she made this connection, but I will never tell her otherwise because seeing her face light up every time is way better. My girlfriend put a candy bowl in our hallway at our apartment for Halloween. She came home that day to discover that nobody took any candy and was disappointed. Over the week, I'd take candy out before work or when she was asleep. She was so happy that the neighbors loved the candy. She does this every year now, and I have to continuously swipe the candy and pretend it is the neighbors. It makes her happy, and I get free candy. We both win. What did you find out after a first date that was a deal breaker? He killed his dad and was accused of assaulting his sister. He had restraining orders against him from not one, but 2 previous girlfriends. Finally, he asked if he could move in with me on the first date. Unbelievable, but thanks for the warning, I guess. He was a lawyer with a degree from a good school. Look a bit deeper, and he had 6 kids with 5 different women. One of them hated him so much they took the kids to Germany to get away. His youngest was 6 months old, and he was still sleeping on his last girl's couch. We met up at a bar, and she started telling me about how she thought I'd get along with her brother. After a couple of drinks, we ended up going to the bar where her brother worked. He was actually a cool guy. We kept playing metal on the jukebox and drinking beers. She went from saying I would get along with her brother to I remind her of her brother. The more she drank, the more she said it. We ended up making out, and she kept repeating the shit about her brother while rubbing my crotch. I made sure she got home safe, but that shit creeped me out so much that I never spoke to her again. Americans, what is something about Europeans that makes no sense to you? Considering a 30-minute drive to be a long time. I used to visit my grandparents' house every weekend. I have a friend from the Netherlands who barely ever saw his grandma because she lived so far away. It was a 70-minute drive. Apparently in Germany, apartments don't normally come with a kitchen. It's often purchased and installed by the tenant. When we sold our house recently, a German woman viewed it and said, "This is lovely kitchen. It will be sad to see it go." I was like, "Go where?" She was so excited when I said we weren't taking the kitchen anywhere. She thought the house was a real catch because of it and was really shocked when the estate agent said that nobody takes their kitchens with them. Charging for bathrooms and charging for water at restaurants. Those feel like things that I would have expected Americans to do and Europeans be the ones making fun of. I guess they're probably cleaner as a result though. Your kid just spent $600 of your money on Fortnite. What do? Create a Fortnite account and destroy him every time he tries to play. In seriousness, you can probably charge the money back and the account will be banned. Stealing has consequences. Make him work. The breach of trust would be devastating, and a punishment like taking away the privilege isn't enough. He needs to work for the money to pay it all back. Time is money. He needs to learn the value of what he spent. The punishment must fit the crime. Unrelated punishment just causes resentment. I say you present 3 options: sell the console to pay it back, refund the money and get the account banned, or ground them until they pay half back, with the other half still coming. If they work by mowing lawns or raking leaves or shoveling snow, it'll be paid back quickly. Of course, you can negotiate the options available too if they have their own ideas, but don't get soft. They do need to learn. What makes it obvious that someone has low intelligence? Often wrong, but never in doubt. Smart people have the self-awareness to know when they might be wrong. I once had a heated debate with an ex because she was confident that the dry measuring cups held were a different volume than the liquid glass kind. The inability to think for yourself, like clinging to conspiracy theories as a way to feel smarter, as if you see the truth. No need to go as deep as the moon landing or flat earth stuff, just look at the alien mummy thing going around recently. Talking about IQ, and referencing obviously dumb online tests. Congrats, you took a fake test twice and knew the answers the second time. The kind of person to believe those mobile game ads about how solving a children's puzzle means you have 200 IQ. An uncurious mind is always the biggest giveaway to me that someone lacks intelligence. They think they're always right, not open to learning new things or having their mind changed. What's a secret all men keep that women don't know? We touch our balls way more than you think. Not for sexual reasons, those things just need some adjustments a lot of the time. Or we just fondle as a comfort thing. We love compliments. Try it and see how far it gets you, because while we may call you lovely things, we rarely get that type of attention in return, and your words mean more than you'll ever know. A girl at a party said I had a great smile 15 years ago, and that still sticks with me. Although I know some guys are wary about getting too many compliments, and don't believe them because we're not used to it. Only give a compliment if you mean it. When you ask us what we're thinking and we say nothing, almost all of the time, that's actually true. Either that, or something dumb and immature that doesn't need to be said. What's the weirdest thing a medical professional has casually said to you? When I was like 20, my endocrinologist took a good look at me and asked, "Are you okay with your face being so asymmetrical?" I had never really noticed it before, but I have definitely noticed it since. Thanks. This is no joke. I had a medical professional say, "I used to be a heroin addict, so I'm pretty good at this," as she was putting a needle in my arm. I laughed so hard. I live in rural Ireland. The surgeon who replaced my hip is also a farmer. The day before I was due to be discharged, he came in on his rounds. He said, "I may not see you tomorrow. It depends on the dog." So I said, "What's up with the dog?" He told me his dog broke a leg and was having it set tomorrow, but he wasn't sure what time, so I said, "Sure, bring in the dog and I'll watch him." Sure enough, he arrived with the dog, lovely border collie with his leg in plaster. He stayed with me watching TV until the doctor was finished replacing another hip and was ready to discharge me. I recently realized the strength difference between men and women, and I don't know how to feel. My lovely boyfriend and I were cuddling in bed together before I started goofing off and tickling him. He's a lot more ticklish than I am, so I have the advantage. He was laughing, talking about how it was unfair and how I should stop, and I played the Make Me card, and then we started play wrestling. I grew up with only sisters while he's grown up with brothers, so he's obviously much better at that sort of thing. Still, I was shocked by how easily he was able to keep me completely pinned. If he grabbed my arm, I simply could not move it. I trust my boyfriend wholeheartedly and don't think he'd ever do anything to hurt me, of course. Even when he was pinning me down, he was giving me cute forehead kisses and stuff, so it was definitely a positive, playful moment between us. I still find it intimidating that strength difference is so total. I know some weird feminist types who need this reality check, especially now with more movies portraying women beating men in fake fights. Men have a huge strength advantage, that's just the way it is. I work out and am in decent shape, and that meant nothing.